Dear Diary, I wasn't planning on coming back to you for a bit longer, but there's a bit happening. First off, Lockgull have inexcusably taken a turn for the worse after beating us, dropping points left, right and centre. We have found some form and are now 3 points clear on top prior to the final game before the split, and we are guaranteed at worst to be part of the playoffs. But something else has happened, a youth intake, and my god, one of the players we got this year is insane. He's 15, is a Shaun, and has 5-star current ability. I know, Teddy. Sonic high five. We have lost Stephen McKevitt to injury and Chris Cowan to suspension for this final game, and the latter means the youngster will debut. Very excited to see what this kid can do. Maybe we can get him to follow us throughout this journey. Hopefully, Lockgull continue to bottle it too. Until next time. Hello everyone and welcome to episode 17 of FMOE here on Shaun Does FM. I hope you are doing well and coming up today with Banbridge Town. We are back for the last game prior to the championship / relegation group split here in the championship of Northern Ireland, and that is largely thanks to two factors: Lockgull starting to bowl it and also the player that we got for our youth intake who is about to make his debut. Very excited about the latter of those. So if you're looking forward to today's episode, then do remember to go down below, leave a thumbs up on the video, and if you haven't done so already and are enjoying this series here on the channel, also remember to hit that subscribe button and turn that notification bell on as well. It is greatly appreciated. But we are going to start off today's episode with that youth intake that we did have. It was a very good one. Quite a few players actually with high potential. But obviously, we have got a potential absolute gem on our hands through this youth intake through Shaun Quinn. I'm probably going to start calling him Sean because it's not actually spelt correctly, so we don't want to confuse things with me being called Shaun with the proper spelling. But Sean Quinn, he is a 15-year-old Northern Irishman, obviously, coming for our youth intake. He plays in the midfield, also the defensive midfield, and can play out on the left wing. We are going to train him up as a box-to-box midfielder already. Significantly better than what we already had there in the other scene, OG Gallagher. So he goes straight pretty much into our first 11 if he had a bit more time in the squad this season. I think for the championship group games, which we are going to get into in tomorrow's episode, and it might be in a good position as well, depending on what does happen on this final match day. But I think we're going to stick with the OG Gallagher and Cowan combination because they do have that nice green line, and that could be useful at this level. Having played a lot of football together, I think that's probably the safe option. But certainly next year, if we are still here at Banbridge Town, this is a player who has to make his way into that starting 11. It's probably going to be in place of the other scene in OG Gallagher. So an absolute gem there through our youth intake. And as mentioned in the intro, this could be a player who we potentially could try and take with us when we do go to other clubs in the save, at least until he does start to flatten out on that potential he does have. But considering we are a team currently on top of the championship, he looks like a very promising player, and as you can see already operating at premiership level. So hopefully we give him a chance to go and try himself out at that level next season by winning promotion in this current one. So a great youth intake there, largely thanks to that addition of Sean Quinn, but also, as you can see, quite a few other players there with high potential. Most of these guys, despite the fact we haven't offered contracts to them yet, we are going to sign up and really boost up the depth here at Banbridge Town for the future of the club. But the other thing that was worth coming back for is the fact that Lockgull have kind of done the opposite of what you'd expect them to do off the back of beating us in yesterday's episode. If you missed that one, I'll leave a link to it over in the top right corner. Their form has pretty much taken a heavy dive, as you can see in their last 5 games. 2 wins, but 2 losses and a draw as well off the back of that loss to Lockgull. We have come out and won 3 of our next 4 games, including a draw. So that has meant we have jumped back above them on the table, 3 points clear, and with a very healthy goal differential advantage as well that we are going to be taking into the championship group. And as you can see on the left-hand side, already guaranteed to be part of a playoff, but hopefully we can win automatic promotion and this league title as well to make sure we don't need to go through a couple of playoffs to try and make our way up to the Premiership. So with Lockgal being in quite average form, this could potentially be a chance for us here on the final day of the season to grab a good break on those guys if they drop points and we pick up a win, which you would expect considering that we are taking on the team currently in the relegation zone in Knockbreda, all the way down in 11th place, even with a few players missing through injuries and suspensions, McCavitt and Cowan. McCavitt in particular is a little bit of a concern. One of our better strikers this season. He is going to be out for 8 days to 3 weeks with a back strain, but Cowan, he should be back for the championship group phase of this season. And to be fair, even without him now, we're not too bad off with seeing Quinn slotting in for him and OG Gallagher moving into that ball-winning midfielder role. It does mean that Kirk McLaughlin is going to replace him, and he's been doing a pretty good job for us as well in the backup team, with Eamon Fife making his way onto the bench. So not too bad off in that striking position, but certainly would be a bit better off, I think it's fair to say, if it was McCavitt alongside McDowell and on loan from Linfield. But even with those changes, this should be a game that we should be winning against the team all the way down in 11th. And Lockgal, seeing as we are keeping a big eye out on these guys for the remainder of the season, and especially this week. They take on Ballyclare away from home, also in a similar position but doing a little bit better. And to be fair, Lockgal have been dropping points against teams like this recently, most notably Harland and Wolf Welders, right off the back of beating us. And as you can see now that I'll get my head out of the way of the league table, Harland and Wolf Welders all the way down in bottom place. So certainly a chance there that Lockgal away from home could drop points, and hopefully on recent form we can pick some up and hopefully increase the gap a little bit more going into that championship phase and just make sure that we are in a very, very good position to try and lift back-to-back titles here at Banbridge Town. But it is time for the game. In today's episode, the debut of Sean Quinn, hoping for big things from our 5-star current ability and potential youth intake product, and we'll come back shortly from Crystal Park for this last game of the regular league season. And we've got a highlight immediately from the kickoff in this game. We at home are in the red with the black trim, and Knockbreda are in the yellow with a little bit of black. So it does look a little bit like Canterbury versus Wellington, New Zealand wise. And we are on the attack here nice and early. McDowell here will play this ball right on the edge of the box for Conway. We'll try and square that one for McLaughlin. Unfortunately, doesn't get his head on the end of that, but then Conway puts the ball into the mixture, or should I say. I think that would have been robbed that time. Unfortunately, though, the shot was blocked, so a decent early chance for us there. But unfortunately, still 0-0. But we are still on the attack, and McDowell there with a good header from close range. But the goalkeeper makes a decent save, so we are well on top of Knockbreda here. Nice and early as Conway puts this one into the mixer, but unfortunately, we do not connect with that corner. We might still be on the attack. OG Gallagher from a fair way out will try and line one up, but unfortunately takes a deflection off one of our own players, and Knockbreda keep it at 0-0 nice and early. And with 10 minutes to go in the first half, we have our next highlight of this one. It is a free kick, which we're going to try and put towards Quinn there at the far post, but the goalkeeper does come out to punch that away. We certainly have been the more dominant team in this game, but for now, nothing to show for that. But McDowell gets his head on the end of that, but unfortunately, that one comes off the post. As you can see, Lockgal did get off to a good start there in their game. Ballyclare have grabbed a goal back, but for now, Lockgal are winning, so hopefully we can match that as we play out the last few minutes of this first half. And unfortunately, not a lot happened there in that first half. We did have some good chances to put the ball in the back of net, but some good defensive work for the most part there from Knockbreda has kept this at 0-0. Quinn has been a little bit quiet. He is on a 6.6, but with no Cowan, it does make sense to leave him out there, and hopefully he can improve in the second half. But for now, we'll tell the boys we're not too happy with how things are going as we get things back underway, locked up still at 0-0. And only a few minutes into the second half, the first highlight here is a throw-in in our favour just inside our own half. Quinn will play that one back to Higgins, and McDowell there just gets in behind the defence now. Conway finds a little bit of space, tries to get a shot if it's blocked, but it did fall to McLaughlin. A little bit of aerial ping-pong there, and there is a chance for Brown now to get something going for Knockbreda on the counter attack. He's just got a little bit too much pace there for Quinn. Bit of a loose slide tackle, but they are still on the attack. Gilmore with a shot, looking for that top right corner, but thankfully just goes high and wide, and it is still 0-0. And just past the hour mark, we are going to make our first substitution of this game. Cumway, only in okay form recently, on a 6.5. Colin McLaughlin can come on for him as we look for a goal to take all 3 points here in this last half hour. And just about into the last 20 minutes of this game, as you can see on screen, Loughgall do look like they're going to pick up all 3 points now with another goal, but Snodden is down to a red heart. Safiri can come on for him. And also while we're here, we have looked a better team in this game. I think we might need to go in this case a little bit more gung-ho to try and make sure that we do not drop points here and let Loughgall get the gap closed going into that championship group phase. So we are going to go on to attack, and straight off the back of that substitution and that mentality change, we do have a free kick here. Hunter will boot that deep for Kirk McLaughlin. That's exactly what we wanted. Lovely flick on header there from Jay McDowell, and Kirk McLaughlin, who is in, of course, for Stephen McCavitt, rockets that one into the top right corner. Lovely cultured strike that somehow was left unmarked. Still had a lot of work to do from outside the box, but it's a wonderful pinpoint finish. We're going to drop back immediately to positive because we grab a 1-0 lead here with 15 minutes left. And we've just entered the last 10 minutes of this game. Loughgall now definitely going to pick up all 3 points, being up by 4-1, but hopefully we can do the same, even though it is only 1-0, and we are going to make our last few changes here with players down to red hearts. Fife will come on for McDowell. Good assist there for what could be the crucial goal, and also both of our wing backs are down to red hearts. Tosh will come on for Higgins, and Brown will come on for McDermott, and hopefully we'll see this out here for the last few minutes and pick up all 3 points going into the championship group phase. And we are just entering the last few minutes of this game. There are only 3 minutes of added time. As you can see, we've pretty much been the more dominant team. We have had quite a few shots on target. Overall shots weren't actually that much in our favour, but thankfully we were testing their goalkeeper. Knockbreda didn't do that too much, and because of that we do pick up a 1-0 win. Certainly not the best game of football, but we pick up 3 points, and that is what matters at this time of the season. And that means we go into the championship group phase, only 5 games with a 3-point lead. It does mean we have a little bit of wiggle room if we do start to drop off in form, so hopefully we can pick up the title and get automatic promotion up to the Premiership. Seeing Quinn only okay on debut, but as I said, first game in the senior team next season. If we are still here, we'll give him a fair bit of game time in that midfield to build up a partnership, and that should help him put out some quite good performances, the new young star here at Banbridge Town. But that is what the table does look like going into the finals phases here of the championship, 1st through 6th in the championship group, and those down from 7th are in the relegation group, and we take that 3-point lead into that group off the back of that 1-0 win at home over Knockbreda. So as I said, not the most entertaining game in the end, but we did see the debut of a potential future star in this save, even though he was a little bit quiet during that game. But we pick up a 1-0 win. As I said, he's probably for the most part going to sit on the bench throughout that championship group phase unless we do get more suspensions, but a very, very good bench option. And as I said, if we're still here next year, certainly a player we can rely on in that midfield. And we go up a little bit further and we get prepared for the championship group. There are other teams who are making their way into that top half, looking to fight out for the title. As you might have seen earlier, Loughgall now have also guaranteed themselves a spot in the playoffs at the worst. So us and Loughgall are going to be in the hunt for promotion this year, and it pretty much confirms that even though it's the championship group with 6 teams, it is a 2-horse race for the title here in the 2nd division of Northern Ireland this season. If we go over and have a look at the schedule, you can see, if I get rid of my head briefly, because this is going to be blocking it, but Newry City are our first opponents. Then we have Dergview, Portadown at home, Unna United away, and the final game of the season could be a massive one as we do take on Loughgall. If the gap is close enough, the title could depend on that fixture. Interesting to see as well, we do only have 2 home games in that final stretch. If we go over and have a look at Lockgale and bring my face back up, you will see they have got 3 home games, so they might have the slight edge based on that, but hopefully with that 3-point gap that we do have, we can build on that and make sure that we do bring home the title and get that automatic promotion up to the Premiership. But that will do it for today's episode. We pick up a win, a scratchy win, but a win nonetheless, and that does mean that we are on top of the table going into that Championship group in a fight with Lockgale for the title over the final 5 games of the season. If you did enjoy today's episode, then do remember to go down below, leave a thumbs up on the video, and if you haven't done so already and are enjoying the series here on the channel, also remember to hit that subscribe button and turn the notification bell on as well. Tomorrow we will come back, seeing as it's pretty much a 2-horse race for the title. You already know we are going to be in the playoffs at the very worst. We'll come back the moment we get the chance to seal that title, so it could be any of those games in towards the latter half. I understand I'm covering the fixtures yet again here, but we could be coming back around the time of the last 2 fixtures, maybe in April or a little bit later, depending on the form of Lockgale, and we'll see if it does go to the final day of the season, and hopefully we don't have to deal with playoffs at the start of next week and we can win the title and gain automatic promotion. So we'll come back tomorrow and we'll wrap up the Championship group stage of the season. Hopefully that will wrap up the season overall as well, and we don't have to deal with any playoffs. So tomorrow hopefully we can lift back-to-back titles here at Banbridge Town. So until then, thank you very much for watching, keep on keeping on, and I'll see you then. Cheers.